Bryson? Mr. Chair?
Yes, please, let's proceed.
Good morning. Welcome to the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City's morning docket. Today is Thursday, April 13th, 2018. This morning at 11 a.m., the board will be hearing regular items, new, transfer, expansion, and hardship applications. When your case is called, please step forward, state your name into the microphone, and if you're going to be giving testimony, please be prepared to be sworn in. If you have an electronic device, I would ask you that you silence it or put it on vibrate now. Mr. Chair, may I call some preliminary matters?
Please.
Emil Schott, Henry Mitchell III, and Christy Bukowski, Shoddy's Point LLC, trading as Shoddy's 701 East Fort Avenue. This application has been withdrawn. Calling the first case on the docket, Yenis Silva and Thomas Hamrick, Carolina Tex-Mex Restaurant LLC, trading as Carolina Tex-Mex Restaurant, 500 South Wolf Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer location of a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 505 South Broadway to 500 South Wolf Street.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Harry Previs on behalf of Janice Silva and Pedro Silva. Thomas Hamrick is unable to make it today. He has business.
Okay, good morning. Well, all those who are going to testify, please raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, so you were here before, weren't you?
Yes,
Okay,
about
so-
a month ago.
All right, so fill us in.
We postponed the hearing a month ago in order to get an MOU together with Fells Prospect Community Association. We do not have one, but President Scott Goldman of Fells Prospect intends to notify the board that we will get a MOU together. Their next meeting is January 13th, and they're required to vote on any MOU that they would enter into. We have email correspondence with Scott Goldman if you'd like to take a look
Well, I
at
have
that.
a letter from dated October 30, but I guess that's from before.
That is from before.
Okay. So you've been negotiating?
Yes.
Okay. And have you made any progress?
Yes, we have made progress. I talked to him on the phone for about an hour about the terms of the MOU, but he told me that he can only go so far with the MOU because they're required to vote democratically in order to execute an MOU. But I
mean, does he negotiate it and then he presents it to his group?
Yes.
Is that what happened? Okay. Do you have something in draft to go to his group?
He was in the process of drafting it, and I haven't seen a draft yet.
So are you asking to continue again?
No, we're looking to go forward. He told me by email that he would tell the board that they were in the process of, we're negotiating.
Okay.
Okay. We would ask to approve, subject to the terms of the MOU.
Okay. I don't have anything from him about that, but.
We have email correspondence.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so he's drafting something.
Mr. Previous, let me ask you a question while we're reviewing the email. What's the harm in postponing this until an MOU is completed?
Well, the harm is that the Silvas have been waiting for over a year, to get open, and Fells Prospect asked to postpone last time in order to get an MOU done. I emailed them right after the last hearing, and they still haven't given me a draft, and we're fully cooperative with them. But
All right, thank you.
Okay. And you folks were here last time. Do you have anything additional to tell us?
I would if I could.
If you
Just-
identify yourself for the record, please.
My name is Andrew Dowell. I'm the owner and operator of Lillian Zeiler Funeral Home.
How do you spell your last name?
Dowell. So what I'd like to, I guess, present to the board this morning is I did a little research, and on the application, the initial application that I guess is generated from your office, it states on the application, or one of the questions on the application is there a church or place, is there a church or a school or place of worship or school located within 300 feet of the place, of the proposed place? It has yes checked, notation of yes. So I wanted to go back and get a little history of the liquor license that was originally there in that building. The license was transferred. The original license, it never held a license until 2002. And the license from about 2002 to 2010, it was a BD7 license, and they only operated out of the first floor. The second floor was never an issue as it is today. And it wasn't until 2010 or thereabouts that they made the application to expand to the second floor. So from about 2010 to 2012, maybe they had that, were able to operate that way. The license ends in 2012. So the building has not held a license for almost 7 years. So I call into question the annotated code 12-1605 as it relates to, it says the board may not transfer a license within 300 feet of a place of worship or school. I have, for the record, if I can, I would like to give 2 letters from 2 pastors of churches.
Have you shared these with Mr. Previs?
I can give copies as well. 2 letters from pastors of 2 different churches. I guess really my argument is that that the funeral home I would consider to be a place of worship, and the letters written by these priest and a minister, I can give you all copies of these as well, kind of adhere to the definition as it appears in zoning with regards to a place of worship. I also have in 2016 a school opened up, which is in the same block as the proposed site. And I can give you copies of that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So as and I'm not an attorney, but as I read the law or try to understand the law, I don't know where it would allow for this transfer to occur.
Okay.
And if I may just briefly, again, say that our funeral home is the only funeral home that the community has to come to in their time of need. And with the proposed size of this restaurant bar, I do believe that it will unduly disturb the peace of the community.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And the folks behind you,
My name is Joshua Parker. I reside at 509 South Wolf Street, which is approximately 80 feet from the license or the proposed premises. My main objection is the size of the property compared to the size of their previous premises. The current,
Are you part of this group that's negotiating with them?
I joined that group at the last meeting where they said they were continued opposition.
So you've been involved with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I speak to that question?
Whether he's in the group?
Well, yes, I mean, the Fells Prospect is a community organization that Mr. Previs reached out to. We also had a community association meeting, Fells Point Community Organization, who, that association opposed the MOU. So we
You
are.
don't want to have an MOU?
No,
Okay.
it was opposed. So we are all members of the Fells Prospect Community Association as well. I have been in contact with Mr. Goldman, and he should have forwarded a letter to your office with regards to what Mr. Previs had testified to, that they had spoken, that they spoke it was done in good faith, and that they would have to bring it to the board and then again bring it to the membership to vote upon if it could be agreed upon. My only concern, and at this hearing that we had previously here, I think it was directed by the commission that those who had written opposition letters regarding this transfer would be contacted to, I guess, negotiate this MOU. And I just wanted to make sure that their voices were heard. You know, when you go to a community organization like Fells Prospect or any, if their voices aren't heard in terms of the negotiation, which I feel they should be, and I think as was directed by your commission, that they...
I'm not sure I'm following you. They can't go to the meetings?
Well, no, I'm not saying that they can't, but I think their input should be, and I can present this to Scott as well, which I did email, because I've been in the loop between Mr. Previs and Mr. Goldman. We've kind of emailed back and forth with regards to this MOU.
Okay. Anything further?
The building is 8,565 square feet. The previous one was 3,080, and they couldn't manage that without violations. So I don't see a reason to give them a building that's over twice the size.
Okay, thank you. And the lady behind you is? Ma'am?
No, I'm not
You didn't have anything? Okay, I just wanted to make sure if you had something to say that we gave you an opportunity. Your name is, please?
My name is Ellen Horn. I live at 511 South Wolf Street.
Mm-hmm.
I have apartments, and I basically am concerned about the safety. I cater to nursing students and travel nurses and nurses that work in the local hospitals. Hopkins is one of the big schools that, like, I have. I've had a lot of nursing students in the master's program. A lot of these nurses that they come home at all different hours and they walk. They come from different areas of the country and even out of the country to stay here, so they usually don't come with a car. And that's the big issue, is safety, walking past bars. And when I bought this house, there was not a bar on the corner, and that was one of the things that I looked for. And
So are you also part of this group, or will you be involved in the negotiation for the MOU?
yes.
Okay. So, I mean, you've had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Goldstein?
No, she has not.
So,
Nobody has, really, other than Previs's and myself.
and why is that? That nobody's talking to him?
Oh, well, I'm not aware if he's contacted any outside members with regards to the possible MOU. I don't know if you are.
I'm confused. So right now, I understand that there's no MOU, but is it your position, Mr. Previs, that your clients will agree to whatever terms of the MOU? If I'm confused as to whether an MOU will be established.
Yeah, we're working on establishing one, and Scott hasn't sent me a draft yet. He said he was going to send me a draft if you look at the emails, but the problem is the next meeting is January 13th for the Fells Prospect Community Association.
So what I'm hearing from them, however, is that it's still opposed.
From Fells Prospect?
Yes, from the testimony today.
Well, Scott,
that-
I think Scott Goldman needs to speak on behalf of Fells Prospect or
Yeah,
their board.
Again, I don't know if a letter has reached your office.
No.
But there was a letter from Fells Prospect from Scott Goldman addressing this very issue.
Well,
I mean, I can forward it to whomever. I don't have a copy here, but.
what I don't want to do is have a series of 6 more hearings on this. It's not ready yet, in my estimation. You've got licensees with a history of violations, you've got significant community opposition, and these people were supposed to work with you since the last hearing, and almost nothing has. I'm not faulting you, Mr. Priebus, but somebody's got to light a fire and get this thing done. And without the terms in front of us, I'm not prepared to vote to approve it today. I don't know about my.
I agree. I'm not, I don't feel,
So get this thing worked out.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want us to vote on this today.
Okay.
Or at least me.
So I would, rather than deny it, I would just ask that it be set back on our docket after you've had a chance to meet with them and for them to vote on the MOU.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Article exhibits for the record. First exhibit in opposition, 2 letters from neighboring churches. Exhibit number 2, zoning code. Exhibit number 3, business data index. Board Exhibit 1, letter from Fells Prospect Community Association dated October 30th, 2016. Board Exhibit 2, email in opposition from Joanne Massapus dated 12/9/2018. Exhibit number 3, letter of opposition from Joshua Parker dated October 24th, 2018. Applicant Exhibit 1, email from Scott Goldman dated 12/10/2018.
Thank you.
Call the next case, Ida Mae Blackman, JP Partners Incorporated, trading as Get It In 2112 Fleet Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, liquor license, an application to transfer ownership, requesting live entertainment and outdoor table service.
Counsel?
Abraham Hurd on behalf of 2112 Fleet Street, and Ms. Blackman, who is standing with me.
Those going to testify, please raise your right hands.
I think we're being requesting a postponement today.
Oh, okay. You beginning to negotiate something with the
We were
opponents?
discussing some of the concerns of the community. They just want us to come sit down with for, I guess, a standard meeting. I think we have one scheduled on the 9th.
So when would you like to be set back in?
When's the date after the 9th?
The 11th.
Need to
We have
advertise.
January 10th, January 17th, January 31st.
Okay, because we can do, can't.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's,
do 17th if
let's
that's
continue it to
possible.
January 17th, okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
No exhibits.
Calling the next case, Antonio Foster, Noir Restaurant and Lounge LLC, trading as Noir Restaurant, 5716 York Road. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment and outdoor table service, requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Counsel?
Abraham Hurd on behalf of Mr. Foster Noir Restaurant.
Good morning. With those who are going to testify, please raise their right hands.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, so, Mr. Hurdle, you've got an application to transfer?
That's correct. I have some very brief questions, Mr. Foster, just to kind of run through. Mr. Foster, you're going to operate this location, is that correct?
Yes.
And you've operated a restaurant in the past, is that right?
Yes, with my partner.
And
Okay,
this
so
is
what's your partner's name?
Corey Brown. Corey Brown.
Brown? Yes, thank you.
and this is going to be a food-focused restaurant with live entertainment, is that correct?
Yes.
You showed me some pictures earlier, correct?
Yes.
And they were mostly, it was just all food and the beautiful space you guys have?
Yeah.
You guys spent significant amount of funds renovating the location, is that correct?
Yes, we did.
And you've met with the community in some capacity?
Yes. All of their association presidents, the Midtown, Mr. Bill Henry, and other constituents that came out, had dinner, worked out our concerns, and now we're here.
And they did have some concerns and requests regarding the license. Is that accurate?
Yes, one of the things were, I guess, from probably previous owners, that they want to make sure that after business, the area is clean. No packaged goods, which,
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
go through the list.
We can go through that as well, just a moment. And you agreed to those, I wouldn't call them restrictions, but to address those concerns in a capacity that the neighborhood's comfortable with. Is that accurate?
yes.
Okay, and Councilman, you're here to support, or?
I am.
Okay. And you've worked out all the concerns that you have?
If you,
Bill Henry, Baltimore City Council. What we have today are 5 particular conditions that we'd like to put on the record, and then we will follow up with a signed MOU that will be submitted to the liquor board at a later date.
Okay.
Okay, so should I
Please.
do that now? Okay, so the licensees have agreed, number 1, to operate their BD7 license as a restaurant lounge only, with no sales of packaged goods for off-site consumption. Number 2, to use an age verification scanner at all times to confirm the age of anyone attempting to purchase alcohol. Number 3, to maintain all exterior lighting in good working order at all times. Number 4, to keep all property free of trash and debris, removing all litter daily. And number 5, to discourage illegal activity, reporting to police all instances and suspected instances of criminal activity, including but not limited to loitering, public drunkenness, fighting, and suspected drug transactions.
I just have one clarification. This is a Class B, not a BD7, correct?
my understanding is it is a tavern license.
It's a B restaurant
It's a
license.
B restaurant license, so they cannot operate it as a BD7.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
I don't think there's any intention to running it as a BD7, but Bs can operate, and they can sell packaged goods.
They can sell packaged goods, sure.
then I'm sorry, that's a correction to the restriction. It would be, the important thing is that they have agreed not to sell packaged goods at
Understood.
the
Okay.
request of the community.
And,
Thank you.
Mr. Foster, you're going to be able to work this out with the councilman?
Yes, we've talked.
Okay.
It was my understanding that we were going to try to put these on as license restrictions, do some clarification earlier. It's been explained that we need to have it written out, and we'll have it written out and signed in the next
Okay.
few weeks, certainly before they
So
operate.
you're in agreement that they will be restrictions on your license?
That,
Those
yes,
terms.
the terms, yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Mr. Foster, you're familiar with the liquor board rules, correct?
Yes,
And you're familiar that you have to buy all of your liquor through wholesalers as opposed to other retail establishments?
yes.
I have no further questions.
And I'm sorry, how long have you been in the business?
Currently with my partner, he has a lot more experience than me. This is my first year and a half. But he's,
And Mr. Brown, how long have you been in the business?
5, 6 years.
Okay.
And the other establishment here, was it here in Baltimore City?
yes.
Okay.
Just for the record, and we've had a great relationship with the council, mentioning meetings. Our operation isn't even set up to sell, we have no desire, zero desire to sell packaged goods at all. The restaurant, I don't know if the pictures are warranted, but I have them. It's not even, it's a full-fledged.
It's a restaurant.
It's a full-fledged restaurant. I don't know if you guys did see those, but I do have them.
The pictures of all food on their Instagram, and it all looks pretty fantastic, to be honest.
If you want to show us something, that's fine. Unless oh, that's very nice, thanks. And this is 5700 York Road, okay. Well,
Oh,
see
you're
what I
getting a-
just did? I'm no
And now
good
you're
at
getting a
this.
call.
Yeah, now you're getting a
Want us to answer it? Carrie might want to hear from us.
That's okay, but I got a sense from the picture, it looks very nice. Okay, anything further?
Nothing further.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, on the basis of the proffers from council and the testimony received, I would vote to approve the transfer with continuation of live entertainment outdoor table service, requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages as applied for, subject to the terms of a memorandum of understanding to be reduced to writing and to the extent that its terms are enforceable by law.
I concur and vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment, outdoor table service with a request for delivery of alcoholic beverages and to the terms of the memorandum of understanding, subject or to the extent that it's enforceable by law.
I too vote to approve the transfer of ownership with the continuation of live entertainment, outdoor table service, delivery of alcoholic beverages, subject to the MOU that was delineated by Councilman Henry, to the extent that it's permitted by law, and would encourage you to continue to engage with the community. Really important.
Good luck, gentlemen. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
Will
No, is it-
Jakaria be there?
She actually works in my real estate office. Thank you.
Recorded. No exhibits.
Call the next case. Biomeshandra Patel and Samantha Clayson, Golden West of Baltimore LLC, trading as Golden West Cafe, 1105 West 36th Street.
Mr. Preet?
Mr. Previs, I think this is your case.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of the applicants. Apparently, the letter that was sent did not make it to the right place. The applicants respectfully request a postponement. The reason for that request is that they have negotiated with the landlord to obtain some additional space, and there are some business terms that may be switched a little bit, so they want to submit an
How much
amended
time do they want?
application. A month.
Can we put them in
January.
in January?
31st.
Is that
Fantastic.
okay? All right, we'll continue this to January 31. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
No exhibits.
Ganja Chantal, Matrika Rai, and Devi Armaja Pun, Durali LLC, trading as Kumari Restaurant and Bar, 911 North Charles Street, is a Class B beer wine liquor license, an application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment and outdoor table service, requesting off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Good morning, Commissioners, Your Honor. David Silberger, representing Durali LLC, Ganga Shantial, Matrika Rai, and Diva Armaj Poon, who are all standing to my right.
Good morning. Would you folks raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay. Counsel?
Your Honor, may I proffer for these?
Yes,
folks?
please.
We're here today to request approval of the transfer. Mr. Shantial has been the manager and now requests the transfer on behalf of his partners, in connection with the purchase and the leasing of the premises. He has managed the restaurant, as I noted, for over a year and a half, and we feel that restaurant's been an asset to the community. The restaurant serves ethnic food and is a safe gathering place for members of the community. There have been no violations of the liquor laws. There have been no citations of any kind concerning his operation of the restaurant. There's been no criminal conduct occurring at the restaurant, nor would it be tolerated. There has been no one of these folks have had any criminal activity, criminal history of any kind. They have not previously owned or been party to a liquor license and eagerly wish to serve the community lawfully as the business has been conducted under Mr. Shantial's management.
Yes, I'm just to clarify. So who has the license now?
The prior owner has the license, the current owner.
Okay.
Who's also
And is
the-
that an individual or an LLC or?
I think it's in a business.
Sagun LLC.
Yes.
Sagun LLC.
Sagun LLC.
Okay. And the principals of that LLC are not here today?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
So, and the three individuals here are members of the Durali LLC?
That's correct.
Okay. And they would be receiving the license if it's transferred?
That's
Okay.
correct.
And Mr. Chantal is a member, and he's been operating the place for a year and a half?
Yes, that's correct.
And the others are new to the business?
No. This gentleman has been the chef for an excessive period of time.
What is your name, sir? Okay.
He works in the back, preparing all the food.
Okay.
So that, the operators are buying it from the owner, who also owns the real estate, so.
Are they purchasing that,
No,
or
they're
are
not
they going to
purchasing
lease?
They're leasing.
Okay. All right. Do commissioners have questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay, thank you. So on the basis then of the materials contained in the application, proffers from council and testimony, I'd vote to approve the transfer of ownership with continuation of live entertainment, outdoor table service, requesting off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
I concur and vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment and outdoor table service, requesting off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
I too vote to approve the transfer of ownership with continuation of live entertainment, outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and the delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Here you go, sir. No exhibits for the record. You're welcome.
Calling the next case, Mayur Sevalia and Thomas Long, Mueller's Incorporated, trading as Mueller's Deli, 7205 through 07 Harford Road. Is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license application to transfer ownership.
Hello, Mayor.
Council?
Abraham Hurdle on behalf of Mueller's. My licensees are standing with me.
Would you folks raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth?
I do.
Good morning. So, Mr. Hurlis, another one where it looks like the community wants to negotiate an MOU.
We actually have an MOU. That's
Do you? Okay.
my understanding.
Yes.
Oh,
Excellent.
okay.
The latest letter, both of us would indicate an MOU.
Hold on. What was your name, ma'am?
My name's Lisa Daniels, and I'm the president of the North Harford Road Community Association.
Name is fine. And you're Mr. Hilliard, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We just have to keep the record straight, okay? So you have a memorandum of understanding,
We have a
ma'am?
memorandum of understanding, and here is a copy for it to be included in the file, and we would ask that it be attached to the license, please.
And does your client object to that, Mr. Hurdle?
No, my client signed the MOU. I actually have copies myself, and I appreciate Ms. Daniels being as prepared as she is.
Okay.
Thank you. Makes it very easy for me.
And tell us a little bit about your client's background.
Sure. Sir, if you may. You have experience in this industry, is that correct?
That's right.
And how many years of experience do you have?
Yeah, your name, sir, please.
My name is Mayur Savadia.
Okay.
Mr. Sabadia, how many years of experience do you have operating a liquor store?
15, 20 years.
15, 20 years. Have you ever had a violation in the past?
Once in a while,
A liquor board violation?
liquor board violation.
When was the last time that you had a violation?
2 years ago.
What, was that a sale to a minor
It's
or
a sting operation
a sting operation with sale to minor? Okay. And where was that?
in a Terrace Liquors.
Okay. And were you the person who made the sale?
No,
Okay.
it was my employee here. He was there 25 years, and he had an eye vision problem, and somehow, just like things happen.
You're going to be very diligent in operating
Now
this.
then we bought a scanner, and every transaction has to go through scanner. That's the rules we applied.
Okay.
You're going to be very diligent in this new space to prevent that from happening again, correct?
No, we're gonna have a scanner, and everybody has to go through scanner.
How many employees will you have?
Me and helper.
And will the helper be alcohol certified?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you all are satisfied? Commissioners have questions? Okay, hearing none.
No questions.
So Mr. Savalia, you've operated, it appears, about 6 different licensed establishments over the years, is that?
Yes, sir.
And so what you're testifying to is that you've only had one issue in Hagerstown sometime between 2016 and 17, and that was a sale to minor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, on the basis then of the materials contained in the application, the proffers from counsel, the testimony received, as well as the exhibits, which include a memorandum of understanding between the licensees and the North Harford Road Community Association, I would vote to approve the transfer subject to the terms of the memorandum of understanding to the extent that those terms are enforceable by law.
I concur and vote to approve the transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment and outdoor table service, requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Excuse me, there is no live entertainment or outside.
It's a liquor store.
I'm
so
sorry.
It's a liquor store and delicatessen.
Got it.
It'd be really odd.
Sorry.
She's been in Jamaica, she would.
She's still there?
I'm still there, apparently. Well, I concur with, I concur, and I vote to approve the transfer of ownership and subject to the MOU. Yes, thank you. To the extent it's enforceable by law. Thanks.
I too vote to approve the transfer, subject to the MOU to the extent it's enforceable by law. And as I said before, encourage you to remain engaged with the community.
We are.
Yeah, thank you all for working with us.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank
Will you
you.
be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to call this for the record. Board Exhibit 1, letter from Harborough Community Association dated 11/30/2018. Letter from North Hartford Road Community Association dated November 27, 2018. Letter from North Hartford Community Association dated 12/5/2018. Letter from Harborough Community Association dated November 9, 2018. Community Exhibit 1, MOU between North Hartford Community Association and the applicants. Thank you.
Bryson? On the next case, Shannon Cassidy, The Laughing Pint LLC, trading as The Laughing Pint, 3531 Gulf Street. This is a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license. Request to add live entertainment.
Would you raise your right hand, please, ma'am?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Are you Miss Cassidy, ma'am?
I am.
And what is the nature of the live entertainment?
We want to be able to have musicians come in and play for our patrons.
We're talking about jazz, loud rock, big bands.
Small groups of people, limited amplification. We've worked out with my next door neighbor Kathy, which you should have a letter of from her in support of us to make sure we set the sound limits before we actually start. And we've talked to our community association, and you should have a letter of support from them as well. So if we are going to have anything that's a little louder than normal, we would work out with Kathy, but generally we stay within the sound limits.
And how long have you been in business there?
12 years.
Is there a letter
okay.
from the community?
What's the name of the organization?
The Laughing Pine LLC.
No, I mean the community organization.
Oh, Highlandtown Community Association.
Okay.
Is there a request?
We have found it.
I don't see the letter from them either.
They say that they understand that this will be limited to live music with minimal amplification and karaoke.
Yep.
That's what you agreed to. And there's also one from Kathleen Shapiro,
That's her. She's directly attached to us. She's the only building that
and
is.
she looks forward to the live music. Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
Only just for the record, the BMZ approved it obviously as a non-conforming use, so.
Okay, thank you. Then on the basis of the materials contained in the application, your testimony, and the exhibits that have been received, I would vote to approve the addition of live entertainment to this license.
I concur and vote to approve the addition of live entertainment to the license.
I vote to approve the addition of live entertainment to the license.
Good luck, ma'am.
Good luck, thank you.
I'd call this for the record. Board Exhibit 1, community support from Highlandtown Community Association dated April 25th, 2018. Exhibit number 2, letter of support from Kathleen Shapiro. Thank you.
Boy, this one.
Oh, I gave that back.
Ms. Cassidy?
Ms. Cassidy.
Ms. Cassidy? Calling the next case, Yuna Jung, Shoyu Incorporated, trading as Shoyu Sushi, 1450 Light Street. This is a Class D beer, wine, liquor license. An application to convert current 6-day Class D beer, wine, and liquor license to a 7-day Class D beer, wine, and liquor license.
Counsel?
Morning still. Abraham Hurl on behalf of Shoyu Sushi. With me is Yuna Jung and her husband.
Can I
we're-
ask them to raise their right hands before we get
Absolutely.
going? Thanks. Please, if you're going to testify.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I have to do that very promptly or else I'll forget. That's why I do that.
I move right fast. Happens to- happens. We're seeking to convert a 6-day beer, wine, liquor tavern license, open till 1 a.m., to a 7-day beer and wine license. Currently, the store is open 6 days a week, with Tuesdays being the off day. Alcohol sales make up less than 10% total between beer, wine, and liquor, and there's no actual bar in the establishment besides the sushi bar that exists there. They opened about 6 to 8 months ago, is that accurate? At this location.
Location, we opened in March.
In March. And you guys have been operating a restaurant in that area for how long?
2012.
12 years or months? Oh, years?
6 years.
6 years. Okay.
They were previously about a block and a half away, I believe, south, and they moved to this location. It's a little bit bigger, and the opportunity to get a liquor license. This is a license that was transferred from, I believe, Fat Larry's, which is across Cross Street from them.
So, Mr. Hurdle, I personally have absolutely no objection to your request, but I don't know if I have the authority.
Mr. Previs is in the hallway, and he is willing to testify.
Right there.
Well, Mr. Previs is here to testify with regards to the fact that this has been something that the board has done in the past.
I
and is
understand that, I was a judge for 20 years, and I thought that was the weakest argument I ever heard. Others do it.
Well, there's no opposition, you know.
Well, I understand that too, but we can't do things we don't have the authority to do under the law.
Absolutely.
So I need to know what the authority is.
Absolutely, and that's why we brought Mr. Previs.
Mr. Previs needs to be sworn.
Actually, you're just going to make legal argument, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I can say anecdotally that, but you already know that it's been done in the past, and I can tell you how and why.
I believe that, but, the law has changed.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying if you want me to swear in, I'll be happy to.
No, I just want to hear your legal argument.
Mr. Previs, you did some research on this for us, is that
I
correct?
did.
Yeah, okay, you may come up.
Thank you. For the record, Peter Previs, Pruvas, on behalf of the licensees. The old rule that specifically authorized change was old rule 2.08B.
When you say rule, you're talking about a statute? 'Cause they-
The rules and regulations of the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City.
And what year were
Prior
those?
to their amendment in 2016. So the copy that I always kept around my office said revised April 1998, and I have a copy of the applicable section.
Just tell me what it said.
It says, 208B, this rule shall not prevent the issuance of a new license of any class, provided the applicant shall return to the board for cancellation an existing license of a higher classification outstanding at the proposed location.
So you could convert down.
Convert down.
Yeah.
So-
But this
and
is a
it's always
conversion
been-
up.
No.
Well, tell me why it's not.
Okay. Under 12-2003D, the hours of operation for a Class D beer and wine are 7 days from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Under 12-2004F, a Class D beer, wine, and liquor, the days and hours of operation are 6 days a week from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m., not including Sunday, and then you can buy an additional 4 Sundays for $75 apiece, and then New Year's Day for any on-sale license, you can be open all of New Year's Day. A Class D beer and wine authorizes the sale for on-premises consumption or off-premises consumption of beer and wine. A Class D beer, wine, and liquor obviously allows for the sale of beer, wine, and liquor. So the D beer, wine, and liquor, or a B beer, wine, and liquor is always figured to considered a higher classification than a beer and wine.
But the purpose is for the expansion of the availability from a 6-day license to a 7-day license, isn't it?
But the issue of whether it's an upgrade or a downgrade is what you can sell.
If I may.
Is it? Are there any cases on that?
No.
In terms of cases, you mean in terms of appeals, correct, and
Yeah.
outcomes?
Yeah.
Mr. Previs, this has happened in the past and never been appealed, correct?
Yeah, I'm unaware of.
You never lost?
Never lost.
Never had to fight one?
The only two scenarios that it comes up in, because a B beer wine is 7 days and a beer wine liquor is 7 days. So the only two scenarios that it comes up for the downgrade as opposed to an upgrade would be converting a BD7 license to if it's an old B and it got converted up to a BD7, converting it back down to a B. And that would be necessary where the applicant or licensee is on another B, and you can only be on one BD7, but you can be on more than one B. The other scenario is this scenario. the pizza place down on the 700 block of South Broadway. I forget the address right now. They converted to Class D from Miss Sarukis's Paradise Restaurant, the old Greek lady that was there, and it's now a pizza place. They downgraded it from a D beer wine liquor 6-day to a D beer wine 7-day, and that license is still in existence.
So, Mr. Akers, can I ask you to come up and be sworn? I just want to get on the record what the liquor board's interpretation is.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Thomas Akers, Deputy Executive Secretary.
So my question is, how would the liquor board interpret first of all, would the liquor board, would you agree with us that if it's a downgrade that we have the authority to make the conversion?
Well, I would say Mr. Previs cites Rule 2.
Just tell me, if it's a downgrade,
I don't believe the board has the authority, because the rule that Mr. Previs cites is no longer, when there was a rewrite of the rules and regulations in 2016, that rule was stricken.
So we don't have any authority to convert one way or the other?
I do not believe so, unless the legislature provides the board with the authority to convert. Now, the legislature has recently provided the board with authority to convert certain licenses. Last year, they passed Senate Bill, I believe it was 519, which allowed you to convert a BD7 to a Class A7. In addition, there was House Bill 905, which allowed you to convert a BD7 7-day tavern packaged goods to a packaged goods store. I think that if the legislature wanted to provide the board with the authority, it has the powers to do so, and it should be done explicitly.
But our rules no longer allow it.
2.08 no longer exists.
That's distinguishable from not allowing it, correct?
If I may respond.
Sure.
Okay. Assuming that the board gets over the hurdle that this is a downgrade and not an upgrade.
Well, it sounds like we can't make a conversion either way, according to Mr. Akers.
Respectfully disagree, and here's why. Even though the rule is no longer there, and I'm not sure why it didn't get put in somewhere, the general authority of the board to issue licenses, alcoholic beverages 4-202A, the respective liquor board may issue licenses. The new rule that tracks that language is 1.04A, the board may issue licenses. Now,
They're authorized.
yeah. So now, the issue is whether are you issuing a new license or are you reclassifying an existing license?
Is there a statute that allows us to reclassify?
There is a statute that says in the 46th district wherein which this license is located that you cannot reclassify a new B license, which by implication is you can reclassify any other type of license. That statute is Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-1706 C3. And I have copies if the board would like to have that handy.
Sure.
It's on the second page.
Thanks.
So with regard to the section in general is transfers into certain specified areas prohibited. The old section was the Midtown, and that's in the front. It then goes down to C, and it talks about the 46 alcoholic beverages
This
district.
doesn't say, except as otherwise permitted by statute, the board may not.
Okay. In any event, it
Which
does
they normally
say
say when they mean that.
the board may not authorize, C, the board may not authorize, down to 3, a change of classification of a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor license within the 46 alcoholic beverages district. So, if the board's interpretation that you cannot reclassify a license then without further legislation, then a conversion of or reclassification of a BD7 to a B would no longer be authorized, and a D beer, wine, liquor to a D beer, wine would not be authorized. I respectfully disagree and feel that it was an error or a whoops on the part of the new rules and not an intention.
We don't make
of the-
whoopses.
It wasn't you, and I wasn't in part of that committee.
Listen,
In any event.
Go ahead. I respectfully I think that you've made as good a case as you possibly can, and I think the circuit courts, if you're going to go there, is going to have to decide whether the authority, based on our agency's interpretation, with which I concur at the moment, I don't think we have the authority. So I would not vote to allow the conversion at this time, but if the circuit court tells me I've got the authority, come on back and we'll do it. Unless my fellow commissioners.
I concur, and I do not vote to approve the conversion.
And believe me, folks, it's nothing against you. I think we need the specific authority.
Yeah, I would concur with my colleagues. I think we need the specific authority.
So we deny it at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to close it for the record. Applicant Exhibit 1, Annotated Code of Maryland 12-1704. Thank you.
Call the next case, Robert Williams, secured creditor, trading as no trade name, 5307 Bel Air Road. There's a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Request for a hardship extension under the provisions of Alcoholic Beverages Article 122202.
Morning, sir. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Are you Mr. Williams, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and you've written to us requesting a hardship extension. It's been closed. The landlord wanted to move this thing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're looking for another location, but you haven't found one yet.
Well, I thought I had found one, but this guy on Bel Air Road buys everything out for money, so I can't find one. Matter of fact, I went to an auction yesterday and I lost that, so
So you're still trying?
just still trying.
You wanted another 180 days in order to try. Okay, commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the application, the request for hardship extension, and your testimony, Mr. Williams, I'd vote to approve the hardship extension.
I concur and vote to approve the hardship extension.
I too vote to approve the hardship extension.
180 days, is that correct?
180 days not to exceed 360.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Calling the next case, John Zorzit, secured creditor, trading as no trade name, 500 South Lehigh Street. There's a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. A request for a hardship extension under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages Article 122202.
Counsel?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Sean Harvey, 309 South Conkling Street, Baltimore, 21224, representing the applicant, John Zorzit. He's a trustee for the benefit of Joseph and Anthony Zorzit Trust, which is a secured creditor holding this current license by substitute application.
And they're trying to sell it?
Yes, in fact, he's had a few offers, but nothing concrete yet. The written request was made timely, and this is the first request, and we respectfully request an additional 180 days to sell this license. The hardship being my client had to foreclose upon this particular tavern for a purchase money loan, and he would lose his funds if he weren't able to resell it.
How long has it been closed?
Since June 26th, the public auction took place.
Oh.
Actually, my client took substitute application on June 22nd, so it's been since then.
Okay, commissioners have questions?
No questions.
Questions?
All right, thank you. On the basis then of the written request for a hardship extension, other materials that submitted, and your proffer, counsel, I would vote to approve the hardship extension.
Thank you very much.
I concur and vote to approve the hardship extension.
I vote to approve the hardship extension.
Thank you.
180 days.
Up to 100.
Yes, 180 days.
Exhibits.
No exhibits.
Call the next case, Paul Griffey and Luigi Troia, Grano LLC, trading as Grano, 3547 Chestnut Avenue. There's a Class B beer, wine, liquor license. Request for a hardship extension under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages Article 122202.
We're still morning or afternoon, but good morning, afternoon. Jason Vettori, V-E-T-T-O-R-I, with Smith, Gilday, and Schmidt, 600 Washington Avenue, Towson, Maryland, 21204.
You related to Paul?
I am. I'm the son.
Okay, well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
You have written us a letter and requested a hardship extension.
That's correct. Giving you an update, we apparently have a closing in 1 week. I can give you a copy of a lease termination agreement we signed previously. I referenced it in the letter that I've submitted to you. But, you know, that, at that time, back in June, we were hoping, we terminated the lease early with the hope that we were going to be able to, you know, get somebody else in there or sell the property, whatever the situation was. At present, we have a purchase and sale agreement with somebody and closing scheduled for 1 week from now, so. if we-
Okay, and when do you think it'll open again?
Again, you know, within 180 days, we certainly hope that to be the case. I think they left all the equipment and everything behind. I don't know. Again, I haven't talked to the owner or the new owner that's prospectively going to be taking over the business. But as far as the current property owner, they want to sell the property and someone's buying it, and hopefully they can get in there as quickly as possible.
Okay, Commissioners?
No questions?
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis then of the written request by Mr. Vittori, the other material submitted, and his proffer this morning, I would vote to approve the hardship extension.
I concur and vote to approve the hardship extension.
I vote to approve the hardship extension.
180 days, thank you. Say hi to your dad.
No exhibits.
Calling the next case, Aaron O. Hammonds and Samori Wyatt, the Shipyard Pub Company, trading as the Shipyard Pub Company, 3500 O'Donnell Street. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, a request for a transfer hardship extension under the provisions of Alcoholic Beverages Article 121705B.
Abraham Hurlbab of Shipyard Pub, if I may. With me as the licensees.
Would you gentlemen raise your right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You do?
I do.
Okay, so you've requested a transfer hardship, is that right?
That's correct. If I may proffer, it's my understanding that they're just struggling with the permitting process. It's just taking a little bit longer. There was some sort of massive plumbing issue, and there was a handicap ramp outside that became an issue on the plans versus in reality. Ultimately, they have indicated that they will likely be completed with any of these issues within the next 30 days. I have indicated to them that they need to do it as quickly as possible due to other potential issues, and that's why we're requesting 90 days just in case something else comes up.
You're requesting 90 days?
That's correct.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay, on the basis then of the written request, the other materials submitted, and Mr. Hurdle's proffer, I would vote to approve a 90-day extension.
I concur and vote to approve the 90-day extension.
I vote to approve the transfer hardship extension up to 90 days.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you. May we be excused.
Mr.
Anne
Ackers?
Arundel, they just second and third the votes. They don't,
What's that?
they just second and third. They don't have to do the whole.
We're still on the record. Mr. Hurdle, do we need to call?
No
the
exhibits. Thank you.
Okay, is that our morning docket, Mr. Ackers?
Mr. Chair, that's our morning docket.
Thank you for the.
1:30?
Yes, sir.
Just for your benefit, yeah.
Board is in recess until 1:30 p.m.
Soon, hopefully, these guys will open their.
Mr. Chairman?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Bryson?
Ready.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Board of Liquor License Commissioners, Baltimore City's afternoon violation docket. Today is Thursday, December 13th, 2018. When your case is called, please come to the microphone, state your name, and if you're going to be giving testimony, please be prepared to be sworn in. If you have a phone or other electronic device, I ask that you silence it now or put it on vibrate. Mr. Chair, may I please start with preliminary items?
Yes, please.
Case number 2 on the docket, Carrie Everett and Carol Smith, 4200 Parkside, Bel Air Incorporated, trading as Slim Ace of Club, 4200 Bel Air Road. That case has been postponed, be set on a future date. Bijou Penland, Lindsay Perez, and Blanca Pescada, Ecstasy Bar and Restaurant LLC, trading as My Cousin's Place, 3925 through 27 East Lombard Street. That case has been postponed, be set on a future date. Sarbjit Singh and Sonia Walker, Bodwell LLC, trading as Lombard Liquor and Bar, 1000 West Lombard Street. That matter has been postponed and will be placed on a future docket. Gabriela Salas, Charo Negro LLC, trading as Charo Negro, 4617 through 19 Eastern Avenue. That case has been postponed and will be placed on a future docket. Starting with the first case on the docket, Marco Epps and Lakwinder Kaur, New Punjab LLC, trading as Liquor Station 6506 through 10 Harford Road. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Good afternoon. Would those who are going to be involved in this case please raise your right hands?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
And what is your name, sir?
My name
You
is
can put your
Jaswinder Singh.
hand down. Singh?
Yes.
Okay.
6071 Duckish Lane, I live Elkridge.
And are you,
Jaswinder Singh?
Yes. Okay. I 7 year mistake first time.
I'm sorry, and you're not on the license though, right?
No, my wife.
Your wife is on the license, okay. And now, she is charged with a sale to minor on November 14, 2018. Do you wish to admit or deny that that happened?
Apologize. It's a mistake.
Okay. All right, well, just, I'll give you a chance, but so you'll admit it. Tell us what happened.
See, my lies, he mistake.
Who was Mr. Manpreet Singh?
He my place.
Your
Employees.
accomplice?
Employees.
Employee. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was having a hard time understanding. Okay. And does he still work with you?
Yes.
Okay. And this is the first time that there's been a problem. You've had the license for 5 years. Have you spoken with him about this? Yes. Okay. So have you taken steps to make sure this will not happen again?
No.
You mean no, it will
Yes,
not happen
yes.
again?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
Were they cooperative with you? Okay.
No questions.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Singh, on the basis then of the materials contained in the charging documents, your testimony, including your admission that this occurred, I would find a violation of Rule 4.01 small a on November 14, 2018. I would impose a $500 fine and give you 30 days to pay it.
I concur and find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors on November 14, 2018, and I concur with the $500 fine.
I find a violation of Rule 4.01A on November 14, 2018, and would agree with the imposition of a $500 fine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Baltimore City Police Department report, Detective Gatto. Board Exhibit 2, Investigative report, Inspector Perez. Thank you.
Calling the next case, Surjat Bhatt, Street Foods LLC, trading as Sweet 27, 127 West 27th Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. It's a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of the licensee, Suraj Bhatt, who's to my right, and the bartender on duty that night, Mr. Kohler, is to my far right.
Good afternoon. Everyone, please raise your right hands.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Admission or denial? Mr.
Admission, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so this is from November 14th. Do you have explanation?
Yeah, Mr. Kohler's, he's been working as a bartender at Sweet 27 for quite some time. He's alcohol awareness certified. He's usually a fantastic employee, and he said he just let his guard down. The cadet looked like a regular who he knows to be of age, and he just let his guard down, and he apologizes.
Okay, so he's alcohol certified, and
You are, Mr. Kohler?
Tip certified, sir.
and how long have you worked there?
3 years.
And what's your first name, sir?
Dustin.
Dustin Kohler, K-O-H-L-E-R?
K-O-L-L-E-R.
K-O-L-L-E-R. Thank you.
None of his relatives work at the firm, or have been employed by the firm.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, and do you all do anything other than card? Do you have any scanner or anything like that?
We do not.
Okay, so you're in charge of carding?
Yes.
There's nobody at the door?
No, I'm in charge of carding.
This is a restaurant. They're usually closed by 10 or 10:30 at night. This is the Sweet 27 is a gluten-free restaurant,
Mhm.
and it's also famous for the reported Court of Special Appeals case, Yin LLC versus Liquor Board.
Don't tell me I wrote that because I won't
No,
remember.
it's the 55-page reported decision on transfers and.
Oh, okay. Were they cooperative? Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
This is the first offense. I would, on the basis of the testimony and the materials submitted charging it and the admission, find a violation of Rule 4.01 small a on November 14, 2018. I'd impose a $500 fine and give them 30 days to pay.
I concur and find a violation, I find a violation of Rule 4.01, small a, sales to minors on November 14, 2018, and I concur with the imposition of a $500 fine.
I find a violation of Rule 4.01A on November 14, 2018, and would agree with the imposition of a $500 fine.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Like Exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, Baltimore City Police Department report, Detective LeBron. Board Exhibit 2, investigation report, Inspector Andy Perez.
Shang Sing Chen and Kwang Shang Shi, Harry's Liquors Incorporated, trading as Harry's Liquors, 3113 Greenmount.
Mr. Akers, you skipped one?
Uh,
The Rigolo?
Oh, I apologize, sir. I did. Strike that. Thank you. Nathaniel Rigolo and David Rigolo, Pergusa Enterprises Incorporated, trading as Jerry's Belvedere Tavern, 5928 York Road. It's a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Would those who are going to testify please raise their right hands?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Yes, I do.
What are your names, gentlemen?
David Rulo.
And yours?
Brooks Osmond.
Okay. Mr. Rigolo, you're charged with a sale to minor on October 25. Do you admit or deny it?
Happened, sir.
Okay, so you admit that. Do you have any explanation?
I think Mr.
I'd like to
Osmond would-
explain. I'm up here because I made a mistake, and very much apologize for that mistake. I am TAM certified. Been certified for a couple years ago. We're due to have it again. I've been bartending for 21 years. I've never made a mistake, and I made a mistake. I carded the guy. He didn't have his ID, but he looked much older than 21, and I turned around and I asked the bartender if he knew him, and probably the wrong thing to do, but just the day before I got screamed at from another customer because I carded him and he didn't have it, and it just it rattled me a little bit, and I made a mistake, and I'm sorry about that.
Appreciate that. Were they cooperative? Okay, so Mr. Rigolo, here's the problem. This is the 6th sale to minor since 2008. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a problem for us. And this one may have been a mistake, but it keeps happening. We have them in 08, 09, 11, 16, and 18.
I understand that, sir, and I've taken every measure possible. I mean, please understand, we are human beings. People do make mistakes, and I understand that in the past I've had people up there who really didn't care. But since I was here last time, literally, I have taken everything to heart as to what was said, and I have put in measures to make sure this doesn't happen. Believe me, when I got there that night, because I wasn't there at the time, I lit the walls on fire, pretty much, because I didn't want this happening. And I explained to these guys day in and day out what you need to do, what you need to watch.
He's
How
telling
long
me
have
all
you
the
been
time.
there?
I've been there off and on for 10 years.
Were you there through all these prior violations then?
I was there. I was there during one of them in the last 10 years because I've been an off and on employee. I come in seasonally to help out.
I know you get a lot of young people from the Towson and Loyola
And I card them all, sir. I do, and
He's one of my strictest bartenders, literally, on Saturday night. College kids don't come in when they see him, because they know. And I'm the same way. Believe me, this is not something that I want happening.
and I don't want him to be shut down
And
for
I take this very serious. I do.
Okay. Commissioners, you have questions?
I don't, what precautions have you taken since the last time?
Okay, I don't hire college kids to do any work when it comes to alcohol anymore. If anything, they're relegated to working in my kitchen. Every night, before I change out the register and I change out the drawers, I explain to these guys, be careful, watch who you card, look at everything. Don't let anything get you by. I don't care whether you know them or not. If they don't have an ID, they're not getting served. And up to this point, that's been happening. It works. You know, I have to keep hammering it in, and I do. I'm up there a lot of the times myself, watching over my guys, making sure that they're doing their job, making sure that nobody's ripping me off. You know, I'm constantly out on the corner, policing the corner, keeping the drug dealers off the corner, and all the bums and everybody else that constantly are floating around there. So yes, I am doing my job. I just, like I said, that particular night, I took dinner home to my wife.
And
Came back.
And I made a mistake.
And this is what happened, and believe me, I lost it.
I don't want him to be shut down for my mistake. I really don't, because he's been very loyal and dedicated to me, and I take this very seriously as well. I mean that.
No, Mr. Osmond, the fact that you're here shows that you take it seriously, but, you know, whatever the result is here, it's not all on you. I mean, this is a history that is problematic.
Okay. Anything further? Thank you. On the basis then of the materials contained in the charging documents, the testimony received, including the admission, I find a violation of Rule 4.01 small a on October 25, 2018. Mr. Vergul, I'm not inclined to close you down, but I've got to impose a severe penalty, so I would give you a $3,000 fine and give you 30 days to pay.
Thank you, sir.
Well, it's up to the others.
I too find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, on October 25, 2018. And this is not it's not a good record. I concur with the $3,000 fine, but I'm on the fence as to whether we close for a couple of days or a week. Commissioner Greenfield?
So I would find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors. I would agree with the imposition of a $3,000 fine. I'm of the opinion at this point that you need to be closed down, not necessarily for your sake, but the sake of the minors, but also, more importantly, for the employees. They need to understand that this is beyond serious. I mean, revocation is likely on this path, to be candid. So I would support not just the $3,000 fine to be paid in 30 days, but a five-day suspension.
Mr. Greenfield, if I may, I'm asking for your mercy. You're closing me down. You're taking literally food off my table. I have bills to pay, you know, including liquor bills, employees, taxes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just not conducive. I'm sorry, and I understand where you're coming from, but 5 days, you're going to kill me, especially in this time of the year, when all the other liquor stores are open and business is just not there.
I understand. But
it's a struggle.
I understand, but this is unacceptable.
I understand that, and I'm doing the best I possibly can. I hate to say this, and I'm not saying this to sound mean or anything like that, but look, I get it. We have a job to do. You guys are going to check on us. But on any given night, I could walk down the street and find half of the freshman class at Loyola sitting at a bar drinking. They're not drinking in my bar, and yet nobody ever does anything to them. Nothing ever gets said, nothing ever gets done. And yet I come in, one guy comes in, boom, and I'm the one getting hammered here. I don't cater to college kids. I never have. I don't have very much of a like for them because they destroy things. And yet all the other bars around my place are full of college kids, and no one ever gets anything. So I'm starting to get the impression that maybe at some point I feel like I'm being targeted here. I don't know if that's true or not, and I'd hate to say that, and I'd hate to make the accusation, but when I keep looking at the circumstances and I keep looking back on this, I'm going, wait a minute. I don't tolerate kids. I have no like for them. And those are the majority of the people that you are going to sell are being sold alcohol underage. Every time the police department comes around, look at that. And again, I'm not taking anything away from them, but I just feel like I'm being targeted at some point. And it's not fair. Especially when I see some of the things that I see going on. When I get a drunk college kid who's coming up from down the street, decides to piss on my window and throw a trash can down, I'm the one who's dealing with it. because nobody else is. And I'm getting hammered for it. And it's a struggle. Like I said, business isn't good right now. Closing me down, it's going to hurt me.
Commissioner Havey?
I am in agreement with a 5-day suspension.
Okay, it's a 2-to-1, but $3,000 fine, suspension for 5 days. When does it begin?
Begins, recognizing what Mr. Regola said, it's holiday season. I
I
would,
lose 20% of my business every time this year because all the other liquor stores are open.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking during the week, Monday to Friday, so that at least, yeah, Monday to Friday would be what I would say.
I agree.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Starting this next Monday?
Yes.
12/17.
Can we say the date on the record?
The 5.
You can put the date on the record.
Yes, the suspension will begin December 17th and go until the 21st? That's at 5 days?
Yes.
Couldn't we possibly do this after the holidays, after January?
I don't know that I have the authority to do that.
Board, in terms of a suspension, the board can impose when it sees fit for the suspension.
I'm open to that, Commissioner, if you are as well.
I'm open to that.
So why don't we go from January 2nd to?
Yeah, that's
to,
fine.
The 5 days, begin January 2nd.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, folks.
Do I get a paper?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'd call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Baltimore City Police Department report, Detective Gatto. Board Exhibit 2, investigation report, Agent Chris Malice.
Calling next case, Shang Sing Chen and Kwang Shang Shi, Harry's Liquors Incorporated, trading as Harry's Liquors, 3113 Greenmount Avenue, Class A beer, wine, and liquor license is a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors.
Please raise your right hands, gentlemen.
Swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes. What is your name, sir?
My name is Guan Jiangxi.
Okay, Mr. Shi, you're charged with a sale to minor on October 25. Do you admit or deny that it occurred?
Yes, I admit my employee did that.
Okay, and that's Mr. Yu?
Yeah.
Is he still working for you?
Now he felt bad, so he left the place.
Okay, and how many people work for you?
I have like, include myself, I have like 3 people.
And are they certified, alcohol certified?
Yeah, they been there a long time, so you know that it's a new guy to work for me. But I told him at the first time, always check ID on the young people's, you know, look under like 30 age under, you know, always check their ID. Also, like when they use their car and check their IDs. But I guess, you know, I just left like 10 minutes. You know, I left like 9:30, and it happens like 9:45, like almost I shut down. So you know, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, you know, you've had this license for a year and this will be the first violation, but you got to be careful because they build up, and as you just saw,
yes,
it can
yes,
be very difficult. Was it cooperative? Yes. Okay, commissioners have questions?
I don't have any questions.
Questions. All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the charging documents, the testimony received, including the admission, I find a violation of Rule 4.01 small a on October 25, 2018. I'd impose a $500 fine and give you 30 days to pay it.
I too find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors on October 25, 2018, and I concur with a $500 fine.
Find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, and would agree with the imposition of a $500 fine.
Okay, be careful, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hahn. I call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Baltimore City Police Department report, Detective Greenhill. Board Exhibit 2, investigation report, Agent Chris Malice.
Is that our docket for today, Mr. Akras?
Your Honor, that is our docket for today and the rest of the year.
Well then, happy holidays, everyone, including Larry.
Happy holidays.
The board is in recess until January 10th, 2019.